All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV Indy Series tonight here at Kansas for scheduled 100 laps. Drivers just finished up their last practice laps right now. Looks like we have roughly 33 drivers, which, if that is the case, will be right on the money for a full field this evening. Again, top 23 will advance to the race immediately through the qualifying session. 24th through 33rd will be the ones who make their way in through the heat race. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, so I said we're going to get things going here in just a moment. So definitely want to thank you all for joining us again tonight here with Green White Checker TV, broadcasting the Area 51 Racing League Indy Series this evening. All right, so once again, good evening, everyone. So tonight, again, scheduled 100 laps here at Kentucky, at Kansas. Say running the Indy cars here this evening. Drivers are making their qualifying laps right now. Say joining me again in the booth. Was always lucky to have him with me here is Steve Gottschalk. Checking on you, Steve. How you doing this evening?
Not too bad. How you doing, Gail?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this one getting going here. I think it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for some of these drivers. I think the inside line is going to be where they need to be this evening. Say it seems like it's hard to get that momentum on the top side to be able to kind of finish that pass off if you try to make the top. So I think we're going to see qualifying obviously is going to be extremely critical. And then I believe whoever's going to have that pole position, you're going to see whoever's out front, I should say, they're going to be protecting that bottom for all they're worth is kind of what I'm expecting to see here. But I say that's why we're here. That's why we're racing. We'll find out how everything unfolds after 100 potentially more laps this evening.
I'm definitely curious to see how the progressive banking on the track impacts people that are trying to pass on the outside or trying to keep up out there. I drove some laps with the default setup, and it felt pretty neutral and pretty stable. I didn't get enough in the draft to see what kind of a problem the aero push was going to be, but felt like there might be a little bit of aero push there. And I didn't feel any looseness at all with that setup. So we may be, if they did an even better one for the league, then we may not have some of the problems that we saw last week.
Yeah, it sounded like the drivers are pretty happy with this setup this evening. So, we'll have to kind of see how things unfold tonight. But yeah, you're right though. I mean, the progressive banking is definitely something to mention because with the NASCAR cars here, Cup cars, trucks, whatever it may be, you always find these drivers they wind up going to the top side because that's where the speed, that's where the momentum is. So I'm going to be really curious to see if that's going to be the case with these Indy cars, if that top side's going to work or not. However, with the track temp being as low as it is right now, 68 degrees ambient with 84 degrees track temperature, I think that's going to help that bottom line out even more. So I think if the track gets a little hotter, I think that might make that top line become more of a potential. But right, yeah, also have to kind of wait and see. But actually, right now I see now 34 drivers making laps. So depending on how many others there may be, it looks like we may have at least just one person, unfortunately, going home this evening.
Something I noticed during qualifying, at least one of the people that I watched drove it just like you would in the stock cars at Talladega, where you ran the first lap all the way up high, and then ran the money lap down low.
Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. Build up that speed and then use that second lap when you got full momentum and everything. That's actually a really good idea there. Looks like qualifying has just completed, and it looks like actually our leaders, within the thousandths of a second, actually tied. So we're going to pull up our race results, or our qualifying results here as we get ready for this LCQ that we had mentioned just a moment ago. So say this is the starting grid. This is going to be for the top 23, 24th on back have to run this final 10 lap heat race. But you see right there though, Eric Schaus gets the pole position, but you can see right there those lap times identical between himself and Jack Walls. They had to go to the 10,000ths of a second. Or I'm sorry, no, they had to go beyond the thousandths of a second to get that pole sitter going to that. You had to go to fourth decimal place basically. So pretty crazy. That's some really close times there. So that's the front row: Eric Schaus, Jack Walls. You got Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, David Leclerc, Charles Johnson, Craig Forsyth, Roy Wheeler are our top 8. So I'll jump through the remainder here real quick. Here you got Chad Wilkes, Corey Lane, Michael Spell, Jay Shallington, Maxwell Caldwell, Gaston Ariano, James Ledford, and Todd Merkel. And the remainder of those locked in this evening is Christopher Kresge, Mark Rubilis, Joseph DeCiro, Mitchell Wilkes, Corey Cook, Art Peck, and Jared Konzinski. Unfortunately, Dwight Pletch is the first car not locked in. He's going to start on pole for this heat race. Again, 10 laps here at Kansas, so we're going to see us, and I think we're going to have one go home. So right now the goal is going to be to not be that driver this evening.
Should make for quite a battle at the end of the pack here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last week, I believe it was, they had the heat race. Everybody was able to get in, but kind of attrition was the name of the game on that one. So we're going to have to see if they're able to kind of keep things a little bit cleaner here to kind of keep themselves in contention. Because, yeah, if you spin or get wrecked, I mean, that's going to be your chances right out the door. So I'll say with that said, though, green flag is out, and we are underway for heat race. 10 laps, and then we'll get that'll be the final positions, these final 10 spots for the main event. So right now, so far, Dwight Pletch holding his own on that inside line. So we talked about that. To me, I think that's where you're going to want to be. See Robbie Richards running the top, though. And right behind him, you've got Charles Teed working the inside here. Looks like Charles will grab that second spot. Robbie right away going to grab, falling right behind him. And again, you do not want to touch that white line with these cars. It will spin you around, so it's going to be something they have to be extremely cautious about.
Noticing that the two guys at the back right now, Ted Deckard and Julian Altina, if I remember correctly, they were two of the faster cars last week.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's amazing how quick things change. I was saying, I'm actually looking at that left front end plate. I don't know if you see the same thing, Steve, on actually the 026 now of Don Hunter. I believe I see a little crinkle to that right front wing, so that's going to actually hurt Don's chances. I'm sure that car's not going to be driving as well as it would normally, but it looks like he's going to go after it. Still looks to the low side here of Ted Decker as they go through turn 4. So he doesn't quite have what he needs yet, but he's got a lot of draft and he's got that preferred line to say. Again, these laps are going to go by quick, so already got 7 to go of those 10 laps. We got trouble. Oh, there's going to be 2 cars involved. So now the trick's going to be if either of them can get rolling forward again. So that's going to be the 90 of John Brill. So he's still flipping right now. Then the 22 as well. 22 showing as Thomas McConnell. And unfortunately, John Brill landed upside down, so that's going to put him in a very bad spot. So now it's going to be whether or not this 22 can coast the rest of the way or not. I'm sure the 90 car is going to try to get a faster pair if there are some and get back on track, but he's going to have to wait for that toe though. So that could definitely come into play. As we say that though, there's going to be more trouble here. Say contact as they're trying to get around that lap car of that 22. It looks like they got away with it, but that was definitely a close call. I think that may have been Jason Bridges. It was either Jason Bridges or Charles Teed, I think, who got in that really bad position there. But it looks like they were able to kind of sneak through, luckily, though. Trying to keep an eye on the 22. Looks like he's definitely trying to limp that thing to the pits. It is not driving very well at all. He's trying to get in there, but right now it's definitely a struggle for that 22 car.
Yeah, the thing's crab walking pretty badly.
Actually, Dwight Plush had an issue. He's in the grass. He was leading. He's able to keep it pointing straight, so he's going to be in good shape here. It's going to probably keep his chances alive to make this race. But yeah, that 22 is in the pits right now, so now it's going to be how long that toe is going to take for the 90 car, and if he does have a faster pair or not, to try to maybe gain another lap or so on that 22, because right now they're both showing, I believe, 3 laps down, so right now they're on equal footing here. As I said, that 90 is just rolling out of the pits now, so John Brill uses that faster pair to say 22 is in the pits right now. So it looks like he's getting service to that car as well. But I think advantage right now may be to John Brill. I'm kind of trying to wait and see. I'm going to let everything cycle through here. But I think right now John Brill might be the beneficiary of getting that toe and able to get back on track quicker than the 22 limping it around the track.
Which is not what I would have expected. So the 22 just coming out of the pits now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the ticker and everything and see where everybody's at. So right now we're coming to the last lap here up front, though. Robbie Richards leading the way. Charles Teed, Julian, and Altina right here are the top 3. They've kind of snuck away from the pack just a little bit. So I think it's going to be between the 3 of them for who wins this heat race. Should all stay clean to the end. But as soon as I say that, though, that big draft we talked about, they're starting to charge back up here as well. It's Jason Bridges trying to find somewhere to go, but he's pretty pinned in here on that top side. No, he dropped to the apron. So yeah, Robbie Richards is going to get that spot. As I said, we mentioned that 44 Dwight Plush. He's going to be okay as well. And then we're going to I see the 22 is going to cross the line first. However, I believe he's 1 additional lap down. So now we're going to wait for that number 90 car of John Brill. And I believe John Brill is going to be the last car to make it here in the race. So unfortunate for Thomas McCollum. I believe he will be going home this evening. But yeah, so just kind of crazy the way that all panned out there with that toe versus kind of just having to try to limp that car along, and I think that wound up panning out for John Brill there.
Yeah, I think the 22 probably would have been better off getting a toe right away.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, so I say they got a 2-minute warm-up here, so we're going to let them make their laps. So I'll go real quick over the final starting grid, which is going to be starting with that 24th position, Robbie Richards, Julian Altina, Charles Teed, Jason Bridges, Benjamin Combs, Gary Corley, Don Hunter, Ted Decker Jr., Dwight Plush, and John Brill. Those will be the final 33 drivers in the race this evening. I say again, the top 23 were settled by qualifying again with that 72 of Eric Schaus. Getting the pole position tied though with that lap time. Say they had to go to the 4th digit there to figure out who was quicker. So very, very equal lap times between those top 2. So with that, we'll step away for just a moment, take a quick break, and then we'll rejoin things once the field starts to grid here in just a minute or so. All right, pace car is rolling here. Say again, scheduled 100 laps tonight at Kansas. Say got a full field, 33 drivers. Say again, unfortunately that 22 of Thomas McConnell did not make the race this evening. Just bad luck on his end, just being involved in the incident, just not being able to get in and out of the pits quicker than the 72, or sorry, than the 90 get in that tow. But kind of a little surprised actually by myself and Steve that it kind of worked out the way it did there. So right now Eric Schausto again our pole sitter this evening. Qualifying time was literally to the thousandths of a second a tie between himself and Jack Walls, which again could actually wind up being pretty pivotal here because I think that bottom line is going to be essential to kind of protect that bottom here this evening. So we're going to kind of wait and see how this race unfolds. Going to be, I think, some difficult one to make some passes at, so I think this track position is going to be critical this evening. But these drivers usually find a way to prove me wrong, so we'll see what they've got tonight with these 100 laps this evening. So pace car is off, waiting for that green flag to fly. And we are underway here at Kansas with the Area 51 Racing League Indy Series here on Green White Checkered TV. Yeah, sure enough, so far that bottom line is definitely the momentum there. You see Bud Steele got to the inside, went to the top, and immediately got the momentum. He's going to try to work that momentum to the top side. So we'll see if he's able to do anything with it. But again, I feel like this low line is going to be where you need to be. So we're going to keep an eye on that 76 of Jim Brooks, see if he's able to sneak his way up behind that 72 car. And again, we're going to also need to keep an eye on is going to be that aero push that we didn't really mention yet, but these cars definitely put out a lot of disturbed air, so that could definitely play an outcome in this race. The other thing drivers are going to have to be extremely careful about, though, is going to be that white line. It's really tempting and really easy to accidentally get down and touch that white line. However, say you do that with these cars, they're just strung out so heavy that it easily spins them around. However, we are under yellow here. It looks like the 12 and possibly the 09 are involved. Oh, definitely heavy damage for that 09. It looks like of Corey Cook. I'll take a look at that 12 as well. Yeah, definitely heavy damage as well for Robbie Richards here. So let's go ahead and see what happened to give these two damage and put us under our first yellow. You can see the two of them here right behind each other entering turn number 1. Oh, you see the 09 just touches the white line. Unfortunately, that washes Corey up into the 12 of Robbie Richards. I'll say nothing Robbie did wrong there, just wrong place, wrong time. And then the second contact for him definitely puts them both up in the air. But luckily, both drivers able to land on their wheels to be able to continue there. But going to be some definite needs for some fast repairs for both of those drivers there. I'd say the only benefit I could see here is that's going to be, I think it's going to be only a 2-car incident, which is great for where they were in the field with everybody around them here. So looks like both should be able to stay on the lead lap as well. So yeah, so that's going to put us under our first yellow here. Looks like we had one driver decided to go ahead and pit there. Surprisingly, in my opinion, it's going to be Jack Walls here in the 83. We'll see him here in the pits. He was the second place position starter, so maybe some strategy call going on here. So while the field runs around here under yellow again, we'll step away for just a moment, and then we'll rejoin things again on the 1 to go. All right, we're back here on the one to go. Got a couple drivers took ahead and took advantage and made some pit stops there. We mentioned again the 83 of Jack Walls. I'm a little surprised on that one, Steve. I'll say he started second. That's going to now put him back in about 25th, I believe. So unless they were right on the fuel number where maybe they could barely make it on maybe 2 or however many stops they need this evening, that seems like a bit of a gamble to me to lose all that track position here.
Yeah, definitely. Did you notice if he took tires? I wasn't looking.
Um, I think he possibly took tires there. I say that the pit stops are so fast with these cars, I wouldn't make too much of a difference. But yeah, so I don't think they really had any much wear on the tires, regardless though. So I believe it was 4 tires though as well. Say Art Peck also had to pit there. Looks like he had some damage to repair as well as Dwight Plesh. However, though, pace car is in. You see Eric Schaus going to lead the way again. Now he's got Bud Steele behind him, Jim Brooks, Charles Johnson. So Eric's got a mirror full of admins here. He's got 3 of them right behind him on this restart. So he's going to have to, they might kind of help run the show here, but they also definitely want to run fast this evening too. So he's going to have his work cut out for him tonight. So it looks like Bud's going to do the same thing as he did before there. He's going to get that run on Eric. He's going to jump to the top side, see if he can make the momentum work. And Steve mentioned that progressive banking. We'll see if that's able to give enough momentum to maybe see if he can get some of that speed and work that top side. Looks like it works for Charles Johnson. He was able to sneak around the 76 of Jim Brooks and grab that second spot. But I think once you lose that draft from a car in front of you, that's kind of where you lose a little bit of that momentum. But right now, though, Eric Schau's still leading the way. You see now that 50 of David Leclerc, he's going to work the top side. So right now, again, we're going to have pretty much the whole top, I'd say 15, 20 cars here all bundled together right now.
This is kind of reminding me of a plate race in the stock cars where the outside line gets some momentum and is able to kind of keep up with the inside line, but they stall out when they get up near the first car up there.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that's really what's happening is you can get that big run, but then you kind of stall and say you're going to see, I think, Charles Johnson on the inside. He's going to kind of get stalled out here, but behind the 72 car. And so he's just going to have to kind of ride on that back wing of the 72 of Eric Schaus. However, what could shake things up here a little bit is they're coming up on a lap car, that 99 of Mark Rubilis. He had to make a pit stop. I think had to maybe serve a pit penalty, I'm thinking, under green. So he's just in front of the leaders here in that 99 car, showing 1 lap down at the moment. But you can see they're not too far from trying to kind of chase him down here. So he's going to do everything he can to try to stay in front of the leaders, but that could definitely play a role in how this lead battle kind of pans out.
I don't know if Bud Steele dropped back on purpose so they wouldn't be too wide when they came up on the lap car, or about to be lap car, or whether he just lost his momentum on the outside.
Oh, that's a little hair raising there. So you saw Eric Schaus get right to him and saying a little bit of a connectivity issue as well with that 99. So Eric's going to go around that top side. BC disappears again, pops back up right in front of the field. It's going to definitely make some drivers a little nervous. Looks like he's definitely rolling out of it a little bit, giving some room there. But as we say that, though, there goes Bud Steele. He's back to the top again here, going to try to make that work. You see that 50 as well. As I said, that caution is out. I was going to say David Leclerc trying to work that top side. It looks like this one has involved a 31 of Julian Altina. It looks like actually there's some other cars involved here a little further up. I see. Oh, yeah, you see the 36 there. I saw one actually. Wow, one stuck up in the fence there. That may have been James Ledford. We definitely have to take a look at that one. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's probably Don Hunter or Benjamin Combs. But either way, we're back under yellow. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what happened there. All right, we're going to hang out here with Julian Altina. We'll watch from where he was sitting here. See if we can catch where it all unfolded. And it looks like, oh, yeah, I think it started right around that 99 car that we had mentioned, the connection issue, and also kind of running a little slower to try to stay out of the way. But unfortunately, I think that actually wound up biting a couple of these guys. So we'll go back just a little bit more here. But yeah, you can see that connection issue. I mean, that's definitely going to throw these drivers for a loop. I think it was the 16 of Christopher Kresge. He checks up not to run over the back of the 99, and unfortunately that's where he gets contact from behind. You see that, and you see contact with those 2 cars next to him as well. and then just nothing they can do, and they just all get thrown up into the fence. And I think so. I saw someone get stuck up in the fence. That may have been James Ledford after all. But actually, as I say that, he's bouncing back down from it, so it wasn't James. It was a little further up here, it looks like. So the trick with these Indy cars is they have very small numbers, so it's hard to make out who is who.
I don't know, but that was a mess, and a lot of cars really damaged pretty badly there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to hunt around, see if I could catch who it was. Oh, there we go. It's a green and white car. I can't quite make out who it is there. But yeah, sure enough, he looks like he is saying Jason Bridges, unfortunately, that 34 car, he's rolling on his lid there. But then, yeah, there's one stuck up in the fence here. I think that may be the 77. Yeah, there's 77 of Benjamin Combs. So we'll go back a little bit and take a look at his hit here. So you can see, again, we're running super slow-mo. He's going at this point about 200 or so, 220 probably. Misses the first set of wrecks, but then unfortunately as he gets there, just nowhere for him to go. He tries to dodge it, but then just the contact just throws him up into the wall, and then up into the catch fence. And the catch fence caught him, but not what he was looking for.
That looked pretty bad. I hope he didn't get injured in that one.
That is the benefits of online racing. You can take hits like that and keep going. So we're back under yellow. Looks like the top 10 or top 9 stayed out here, and then we also have Jack Walls, Robbie Richards, they stayed out, and then from 12th on back they all made pit stops. So we'll kind of get the update on the rundown here on the running order once we get back on the one to go. So we'll step away again for just a moment. All right, lights are back off of the pace car. Again, the top 9 stayed out. The first car that actually made pit stop now is Charles Johnson in the 10th position. So he's going to have about 14 laps, fresher tires, and more fuel. I mentioned some of those drivers that had stayed out. Also, Jack Walls, Robbie Richards, they actually went ahead and pitted around the second time. So it looks like they've got, again, slightly different strategy. Maybe just trying to take it easy and save those cars until towards the end. The other thing to mention is we do now have 2 cars, 1 lap down, which is Mark Rabilis and Jared Kaczynski. Then we have 2 drivers that are 2 laps down, Benjamin Combs and Jason Bridges. I'm saying, unfortunately, seeing the 026 of Don Hunter has retired from what I'm seeing. Showing 4 laps down, but not on track, so I'll keep an eye and see if he comes back or not. Right now we got 4 drivers 1 lap down, and then 28 drivers still on the lead lap. So again, right now Eric Schau still our race leader, has led from the green. Again, that pole position has definitely been beneficial for him. We'll see Bud Steele here restarting second. You see the field's a little bit spread out there, a little bit of a hiccup there for Chad Wilkes on the connection, so we'll have to keep an eye on his connection as well. So it's gonna, some of those drivers around him are gonna be a little bit nervous here, Steve.
How many sets of tires do they have tonight?
I think they don't have any tire limits, so I think they can pit as much as they want for tires and fuel. However, that would be an interesting thing for them to add on to the feature there. But sure enough, back up top, there goes Bud Steele to the top side. He's going to try again, see if he can get that momentum working. You see that 17 Chad Wilkes behind him. On the inside, though, you've got the 50 of David Leclerc going to work that inside line. And then I believe showing up now in the top 5 is Gaston Arellano in that number 11 car.
We're about to see what a difference new tires will make, because Charles Johnson and Maxwell Caldwell were the first 2 on new tires, and they're flying off through the field right now.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see the balance of the tires versus also the fuel. Like, there'll be a little bit of a kind of, as I say that, it looks like they have a spin further in the back. Not sure. Looks like no yellow yet. See, one went down to the infield there. Looks like that was the 65. Gary Corley looks like he got away with it, trying to see if that car looks clean or not. I thought I saw a 76 spin as well. Looks like he's in good shape here as well. So say good driving by those guys to keep that car off the wall and keep things under green. Saying, like Steve mentioned, we're going to keep an eye on those drivers that took tires and fuel under that last yellow. Right now it looks like Maxwell Caldwell, the leader of those in that 94 car. He is now up into the 7th position, but I believe he started outside the top, I think around 11th or 12th, so he's made a pretty good gain so far here. We'll see if he's able to continue this. I would say a big move there, jumped right in front of that 17 of Chad Wilkes. To say the problem now he's going to have is he's going to be pretty boxed in here. The only chance he's going to have is if he can sneak around and get to that top side where Bud Steele is again at the moment. I'll say right now they're trying everything they can do to see if they can find their way around Eric Schaus. But again, we talked about that bottom line probably being where you need to be tonight, especially if you're that leader. And so far, it's definitely coming true. But again, we're only on lap 24 now of 100, so we got 77 to go. And right now, I'll say it's pretty much a 215 mile an hour pace lap with these drivers here.
Eric Schaus kind of, I don't know if he went up to block or what, but he was up in front of Bud Steele and he came back down to the bottom, and now they're side by side again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's maybe just trying to let the car wash out a little bit so not to scrub the tires too much. To say the less wheel you can have on that car, the better. So if he gets enough of a run, he can probably do that. But yeah, he'll definitely have to be careful not to do that too much, because I say also that can open the door if Bud is able to get a good run, maybe do like a little crossover move. So I say he's going to have to protect that inside as much as he can here. I say the other question that's going to come into mind is going to be the fuel window. Should we stay green here? It's going to be how long can some of these drivers that stayed out pitted, or the drivers that pitted, how long can they stay out versus those that haven't pitted yet? When would they have to duck in here too? So we'll have to see what those. I'm not sure what those fuel numbers are offhand, but we'll say should we stay green, we'll definitely be able to see. We'll be able to get a pretty good idea of what it's going to be. So again, right now those top two still running side by side. Trying to keep an eye on some of the drivers that have moved a little bit forward in the race. So we mentioned already, Maxwell Caldwell started 13th, currently in 6th. Gaston Arellano 14th and up to 7th. And say one that's made a big gain so far is the number 27. So I had to hunt it down there. Charles Teed started in the 26th position, showing 12th right now. So a really good run for Charles here. So again, still really early on in the race. A lot can definitely happen. I'll say it's definitely kind of the way you want to start things off here. Get some of that track position early, and then be able to try to stay on that same cycle as the rest of the cars in this race.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with the fuel if they stay green, because the guys, there's a 14-lap difference between the people who pitted and the ones who didn't.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Even if it's even if they don't. Like if they still, let's say they each still need 2 stops or 1 stop or whatever it may be, I'm thinking it's going to be a 2-stop probably for these leaders. even if they can, even if the guys that topped off still have to do 2 stops as well, they'll be able to take significantly less fuel, which will shorten that pit stop, which could help them kind of leapfrog those drivers in front of them.
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks like Maxwell's worked his way up now into the 4th position. Now jumping to the top side, trying to see if he can get around that 131 of Craig Forsyth. Again, Craig was a 2nd place finisher in the championship last season, trying to get that 1 spot better. He's had a pretty good start to the season here. Say he's had some pretty solid runs. I say definitely looking for more of that this season. Say he's had much better luck than the championship winner last season at 17 of Chad Wilkes. Chad right now showing in the 10th position in that 17 car.
Interesting. Maxwell Caldwell has continued his progress forward. He's up to 3rd now, and Charles Johnson, who was right with him, both of whom stopped on the lap 14 caution. I don't know if he dropped back on purpose or if he's just not able to keep up.
Yeah, say Charles he's right there though, but yeah, he's definitely not as far up as Maxwell is here. The problem for Maxwell, of course, now is I say he's gotten pretty much as far as he can go. The only thing he could do maybe now is to sneak underneath that 6 of Bud Steele. I don't think that top line is gonna work with these cars. It seems like they carry too much speed through the turns. But as I say that though, he's gonna run that top side, maybe also trying to save his tires a little bit too by kind of getting those big arc into the turns. But I kind of wonder if he could get to the bottom of the 6 car, see if he can maybe sneak ahead of him on maybe one of the exits and then try to be that lead car on the top group. But right now, still kind of just running right to the outside corner. But as I said, although we have a caution come out, looks like it's actually pretty far in the back here. Looks like you see the 021 of Joseph DeCiro. So I think that was, yeah, definitely further back in the field here. I think in the 20s when it happened. So that's going to throw the fuel window here probably out, or fuel strategy out of the window. But let's go back and see what brought out this yellow. Alright, just found it here. Looks like the 021. Not sure if he made it. I think he had something happen and had to run to the apron there to just maybe try to recover the car. But I say if we do get green flag pit stops, that's going to be something that's going to have to be that they're going to have to keep in mind though, is just how tricky that apron is. As you'll see, he starts to try to get back onto the track here just a little bit too soon. Also, you can see that blue cone there. But once that difference of the banking versus the flat part of the track there is just unfortunately just snapped the car out from under him, and just he had him locked down, but just that forward momentum just took him straight to the inside wall. So that's what the yellow was, I believe, is that 021 just making contact with the inside wall. Car is in good shape, so he should be able to get either a fast repair or just a wing repair and get back on his way, which it looks like he's doing now. And yeah, so a lot of drivers made pit stops, however, but Charles Johnson is going to stay out here. That's going to put Charles now in the lead. It looks like a handful of drivers stayed out as well. So we'll go, once everybody cycles through, we'll get that running order updated for you. I'll say again, pretty much all but about 6 drivers it looks like pitted there. So we'll step away for just a moment, and we'll rejoin you here momentarily. All right, lights are off on the pace car. They are entering turn number 3. Right now, 2 drivers stayed out there, the 28 of Charles Johnson and the 16 of Christopher Kresge. Those are going to be our top 2 here. On this restart, Eric Schaus is going to lead the way of those that made pit stops there. And then you have Bud Steele in 4th. Craig Forsyth will round out the top 5. So that 28, though, Charles Johnson, he's going to lead this restart here. His pace car is in, waiting for that green flag to fly. And we are underway again here at Kansas. This will be starting lap number 39. So we've got 62 to go. So say we're getting through there pretty quick. Once we get those green flag laps, they go pretty quickly here. So say no, Steve and I talked about earlier about those old tires versus new tires. We're gonna really see how that's gonna work out here now with that 72 and the 28. As you can see, that 16 Christopher Kresge goes right to the top. However, does not have the momentum he's going to need, so that's going to open the door here for Eric Schaus to grab that second spot through this tri-oval.
Yeah, I think I'm most interested in seeing if Eric Schaus can work his way back up to the lead here, because certainly from the beginning of the race until lap 34, when they just pitted, nobody was able to get past him. He just hung out there in the low line. Even the people that had 14 laps fresher tires weren't able to get up there. They could stay with him, although nobody ever really got a chance to get alongside him so we could see, because he had one of the cars with the same wear on their tires right next to him. But anyway, so if things, even with 20 laps fresher tires, we'll see whether these guys can get past Charles Johnson. I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Oh, I see one going through the grass. I think that may have been the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. I'm not sure if it was or not, but I'm trying to see if I could see where it was. No, it definitely wasn't Maxwell. So he had the fastest lap of the race. I don't think you're going to do that going through the grass. I think they just were actually working by him right there. But no, you made a really good point there, Steve. And right now, I mean, Charles is doing a good job hanging on to that lead. And so you can see the 72 is getting to him, but he hasn't gone anywhere else at the moment. However, how much of that is maybe a fuel strategy here? Because again, maybe, as I said, though, we're going to be back under yellow, so that's going to change things up one more time here. So I think, we got a big incident here. We got more piling in there in the back there. I see this 88 of Michael Spell is involved. I think I saw the 16, unfortunately, we mentioned earlier, Christopher Kresge, he's got heavy damage as well. Looks like motor damage as well, too, so he's going to have to take a tow, unfortunately. And some of these other drivers are going to try to see if they limp this thing back to the pit. So let's go ahead and see what happened there and see how this all unfolded.
Okay, I'm looking at it now. I'm not sure yet whose car is whose, but it looks like 3 cars kind of got together. The one on the inside was kind of high up.
Yeah, taking a look now. See the 16 of Kresge. Oh, yeah, I guess on Ariana. Looks like he starts washing up into... yeah, let's try to see if we can get a better angle of this one here. I think going too far back there. Apologies. Let's get back forward where we were here. So you can see what led up to this incident, though, so as we get back into the turn here. Alright, so you see that 11 car, he enters the turn pretty shallow, which definitely doesn't help it wash up. And then from there, yeah, you can see they're pretty even here, but it seems like you can kind of see from that dotted line, yeah, that 11 starts washing up, unfortunately, into the 88, which then hooks the 16. Let's say those two are definitely going to have some pretty heavy contact there. And then unfortunately there's those behind, just nowhere for them to go. I see the 31, I believe it was, that was involved as well. So yeah, it's a lot of cars involved in this one. So you're going to see a few coming in the frame here in just a moment. Again, we talked about how fast these cars go through. You see Robbie Richards gets a piece of that 16 as well. And for good measure, one more gets into him there, sends that poor guy flying. But yeah, so that's really unfortunate for Christopher there. Say he went for that pit strategy and say got him up in that track position, but unfortunately then had some contact, and that's what kind of definitely not helped his night here. So he had to take that tow. Hopefully be able to get back serviced and not lose too many laps here. However, though, what that did do is that changed the pit strategy here, because now Charles Johnson has pitted in that 28 car, which is going to put Eric Schaus again back into the lead. So, like I said, we're going to right now again cycling under yellow. Looks like, unfortunately, I believe Dwight Plush and Benjamin Combs have both retired from the race this evening. I'll keep an eye, see if they come back on track or not. But right now, it's showing both of those drivers out of the race. And I believe the beneficiary. Actually, I'm trying to see who the beneficiary of that yellow was, because we have 3 cars 1 lap down. So right now we're showing 3 cars 1 down, and 23 on the lead lap. So again, we'll step away for just a moment and we'll rejoin things here again on the 1 to go. All right, lights are off the pace card. They're in 3 and 4 right now. It's going to put it again into the hands of Eric Schaus. I'm going to be restarting here with 52 to go, just about at that halfway mark. Let's say you can see Bud Steele again in second, Craig Forsyth third, David Leclerc fourth, Corey Lane rounds out our top 5. Green flag is out, and we are back underway here at Kansas. So again, that track position now benefits going to be that Eric Schaus in the 72 car one more time. I say the one that topped off or had to pit under that yellow was Charles Johnson in the 28. He's going to restart 15, so he's definitely going to have his work cut up for him to gain some more track position. But right off the bat, again, you see Bud Steele. He's going to be that driver to run that top side. See if he can make something happen. Maybe hope that 72 makes a bit of a mistake. Oh, as I say that, there's a mistake in the back. We're going to have another yellow here. Couldn't quite catch the car numbers there, unfortunately. I say we'll go back. We'll definitely take a look. See, the 98 of Roy Wheeler was involved. Heavy contact for him. Again, he's going to be hoping he can get on his wheels, which he is not. So that's going to put him having to take a tow. You can see a lot of damage as well for Mitchell Wilkes here. So let's go back and see what brings out this yellow. Say this is going to get us through the halfway point, however. Alright, looks like our old enemy netcode is underway. Let's say I'll go back again a little bit. We'll load just a little slower. You can see the 71 come down. However, you see the distance between the two of them, but then that 09 acts as if he just got completely drilled by that 71 car, and that's where the initial contact happened. And so then it puts the 79 and 01. They make contact. And unfortunately for Roy Wheeler, nowhere for him to go. He tries to get to the inside. Unfortunately, he's going to make contact right there. And then I believe that's also going to get him into the 27 as well. So trying to keep an eye on that 27 car. Looks like he may have actually been able to hang on to it okay. But yeah, unfortunately for some of these other guys, though, pretty heavy contact with that 71 and the 09. Looks like Jack Wells just squeaked by there. So we'll kind of let's see Roy Wheeler here going for a ride as well. Trying to keep an eye on the other ones to see if they're able to get through there. So yeah, definitely not what Roy was looking to have there in that number 98 car this evening. But say again, he'll take a tow, hopefully get a fast repair as well. Say trying to double check as well. See, looks like everybody else may have gotten by here. Oh, as I say that, I just saw one slide in the background. Let's go see who that was. That is the 88 of Michael Spell. So let's go and see how Michael got involved in this one. Oh, he went through the grass trying to avoid it a little bit. Unfortunately, you see him locking up the tires there. And then say he gets to the apron. We've talked about, actually, no, he gets a bunch of help there. He got hit from somebody there with a huge head of steam. I think that's the 222. Yeah, it is, of Jared Kaczynski. That's what gave him that hit. Saying that's going to send him up into the path of that wall as well. So yeah, so say unfortunately not what he was looking for there. He's definitely on the brakes well there, but yeah, just kind of got hit from behind, unfortunately. So however, that's going to put us back under yellow. Eric Shaw still showing as our race leader. So once again, we'll step away for just a moment, and then we'll get things going again here in very shortly. We just crossed the halfway mark, so we have 49 to go here at Kansas. All right, lights are off on the pace car. We are on the 1 to go. One more time here at Kansas. Going to restart with 47 to go. Unfortunately, one of those quick yellows there. So, again, still got 23 on the lead lap. Jared Kaczynski, Michael Spell going to be battling to get that free pass between the two of them. They're both showing one down. And then we have a handful of drivers 2 laps down. But up front, though, again, that 72 of Eric Schaus is going to lead the way. Bud Steele right behind him. Craig Forsyth in third. David Leclerc in fourth. And Corey Lane round out our top 5. Again, I'm sorry, go ahead, Steve.
We have all kinds of different pit strategies going on here now.
Yeah, it's definitely a mixed bag right now.
A number of the people who had pitted on the last caution went and pitted again on this one, but Charles Johnson, I noticed, stayed out on his slightly older tires.
I'm not too worried about the tires there. I feel like they're going to be in pretty good shape. I think the fuel is going to be the critical one. Like you said, though, right now the furthest one up on slightly newer, or what's about 10 more laps of fuel, is going to be Charles Johnson. However, a fair chunk of those are under yellow. So really, Maxwell Caldwell, I think, is going to be the one that has the freshest tires and the most fuel. However, right now he's showing right around the 17th position or so. Again, we're still early on, but definitely a lot can happen. We've seen it before where we had a race on Thursday at Homestead where it was up. As I said, though, we were back under yellow. Looks like the number 11 I see. Oh, yeah, Gaston Arellano is involved. I see a few others trying to take evasive action as well. All right, well, let's see what brought us back under this yellow here. Alright, looks like there's some initial contact between the 11 here and the car behind him. But you can see, though, there's one here. That's the 021. Looks like had a bit of a checkup. And I say, unfortunately, Robbie Richards just wasn't able to slow down in time. I'll say, we'll see if something happens to the 021 car to maybe initiate that. Oh, but 2 cars wind up launching off the 11 car. See the 31 there of Julian Altina. And then I think that's the 27. Sorry, the 16 of Christopher Kresge. They both actually literally launched off that 11 car. Unfortunately, nothing Gaston could do about that one. Unfortunately, just the way that all kind of shook out there. You see everybody's trying to snake through, not get involved in that incident. So I want to see, though, if that 021 car, see if something happened to him here. So let's go back and take a look on his car.
It looks like in the tri-oval that he just hit the apron, got squirrely, and almost lost it. And he still wasn't fully up to speed when the 11 came up on him.
Oh, yeah, he got to the apron. Oh, got big loose there, like you said. Yeah, and then he's just trying to get back up to speed here. And then that's where the 11 of Gaston Arellano started trying to check up to avoid him. You see he starts slowing down. You can see the head of steam that the 94 Maxwell Caldwell just goes right on by here. Again, we're running super slow-mo, so it's way faster than that. The 11 checks up, but unfortunately Robbie Richards, he tries to get underneath him, so he just makes contact with that 11, sends him around, and like I said, again, those 2 behind just literally wind up ramping off of his nose and the tire there. So that's what got us back under yellow here. So again, we'll step away while we're under caution. It looks like everybody's saving fuel pretty aggressively here, so I have a feeling they're going to try to stretch this thing on one more stop. So while they're saving their fuel, we will step away, and we'll rejoin again here shortly. All right, we are back on one to go again. Still that 72 Eric Schaus, really good run for him again this evening. Pretty much now you've got the top 9 on pretty much the same fuel strategy. Jack Walls has slightly more fuel just by 3 laps though. Then you have Todd Merkel in 10th place with about 10 laps again more fuel. However, a lot under yellow, so it's probably not that much in reality. Those that just pitted though are Art Peck, Maxwell Caldwell, Robbie Richards. However, we're about to go back to racing here with 38 to go.
Any idea if this stays green, how many laps these guys can go on fuel?
I'm not sure their fuel window offhand. As I say, Bud Steele's going to jump to the top. However, he's going to open the door now to the 50, though, of David Leclerc. He's going to jump to the bottom. You see the 131 of Craig Forsyth up on the top line as well. So right now you got these top 6 or so all bunched together here. But right now, again, Eric Schaus got to doing what he needs to do, protecting that bottom line. He's been doing it all race long. Had that one moment where Charles Johnson was in the lead with that pit strategy. But right now, those 72 back out in front and trying to fend off that 6 car. I am curious about the fuel strategy though too, Steve. Like you mentioned, I'm wondering like if those that pitted there, like Maxwell Caldwell, James Ledford, could they maybe go the rest of the way or not, or if they would still have to make a pit stop, although just a less length of a pit stop. But I feel like, I mean, we're at 36 to go. You know what? I wonder if some of those guys that just topped off, if they could maybe stretch it if they needed to. So it's going to be intriguing to watch us. If we get these green flag runs that we're hoping for, we'll see if that comes into play. Right now, though, Bud Steele's getting pretty good exits right here off of turn number 4. It looks like he might just sneak the lead there at the line. He does. So that's going to give Bud Steele there a lap led there at the line. It looks like it was so close that the ticker couldn't even give us a number of how close it was. So it may have been another one of those beyond the thousandths of a second between the two of them there at the line. Another one making a nice charge here is that 27 of Charles Teeb, third, 26 up to 4th. Right now actually battling for that 3rd, 2nd position. So Charles here also doing a really good job in that 27 car, working his way up to the front. So again, you see this whole group here. I mean, I feel like business is definitely picking up right now, Steve.
And once again, this is really reminding me of this super speedway tracks in the Cup cars. Somebody just washed way up.
Oh, it was the 131, I believe, of Craig Forsyth. Let's say we're looking up top. He's definitely, people are starting to try to shuffle him out of the way here. We'll take a look at that 131, see if the car is clean or if he's got some damage to it. Oh yeah, he's got some left front damage on his end plate there. Someone made some contact with him, so he's going to be in a little bit of bad shape there. So we'll try to look at the cars around him, see if any of them have some right front or right side damage. But from where I'm sitting, where I can see, I don't see anything. But yeah, that's definitely not what that 131 was looking for. Again, we talked about how he's had a pretty good run this season. And so now the question for him is going to be, when he does need to make a pit stop, does he go with the fast repair just to save time, or does he just get a regular wing repair, which adds about 5 seconds to your pit stop? So I'll say that's some of the strategy you're going to have to kind of think about with still, again, we've got 31 to go here at Kansas.
I'm probably going the fast repair, because at this point you can't afford to give up track position.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that's going to be the way to go. I don't think he's used one yet, so he'd still have one in his pocket. But I mean, we've seen though, when these cars wreck, sometimes you have some pretty big incidents. So he is still able to hang on to the draft, though. He's doing a pretty good job of staying with this group here. So he might still be in okay shape. However, the one that you've been kind of keeping an eye on this evening, that 94 Maxwell Caldwell, he's right in the thick of this one. And saying again, he's got about 24 less laps on track than these guys. So again, if that fuel number comes into play, if maybe that 94 here is trying to save some fuel, or maybe just has to take a splash possibly at the end, he might be in really good condition here as well in that 94 car.
And Charles Johnson is also right up there in the thick of things with 10 laps.
As we said, that we got contact with that 94 car. Big hit for him. We'll see. Other cars. Oh, I saw one just make contact as well. So heavy damage with some of these guys here. One of them on their lid. Oh man, that's a big one there. It looks like a lot of cars involved. Let's see how this all unfolded. I saw that 94 was the initial contact, but I didn't see who he made contact with. However, that's going to put us under yellow, and this might be enough where everybody is able to make it to the end from here. Let's go ahead and see how this all unfolded. I think it was right around, maybe in the 94 and the 10 car, looks like.
I think it's Corey Lane in the red car.
Yeah, I'll take a look from our chopper view. Oh, yeah, you know what, actually, I wonder, let's take a look here. This might be netcode striking its ugly head again here. He may have made a little bit of contact with the 10. He tried to jump to the outside, saying they made contact there. And then you can see a lot of cars get caught up in this one. Oh, you see Todd Merkel, just nothing he could do. He gets caught up in that as well. I say we're trying to keep an eye on some of these other cars as they sneak on by. You see, they try and get a better angle here in some of these other cars. Oh my goodness, Corey Lang going for a wild ride there. But yeah, a lot of cars involved in this one. So I'm going to try to keep track of who it is. However, we have a lot of drivers in the pits. Again, we talked about that pit window. I think that was exactly where it was right there. So yeah, so I'm gonna be hard pressed to try to see who all was in that one, Steve. That was a lot of cars in this one here.
Yeah, it was not a huge surprise since this happened so far up in the field.
Yeah,
I'm looking
exactly.
I'm looking at the far chase view from the 10 car, and I'm not seeing any contact between these two.
Yeah, so it did look really close, if not netcode, which it sounds like it may have definitely been another case of that, unfortunately. So trying to kind of catch some of these other drivers that may have been able to sneak through or got caught up in it. You see heavy damage for Todd Merkel here in the 81 car. So, however, we had a lot of pit stops here that just went under, just took place there. Looks like a couple stayed out here. I'm sorry, I think John Brill, let me see, in the 90 car. I believe he may be shown as our race leader. Saying he pitted about 14 laps ago, so he might be able to stretch this field to make it the rest of the way, pending on the yellows. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that as well. So we got a lot of drivers serving some tows and some fast repairs and everything like that. Actually, while I mentioned that, though, let's go take a look at the 131 Craig Forsyth. He does have that damage fixed. And what is his pit stop time? Yeah, that's a 7.6. That's a fast repair there for that 131 car. So that's definitely one out of his pocket. So yeah, so I'll say we'll step away again for just a moment. Right now, our race leader now is being shown as John Brill. In that number 90 car, again, a little bit of a strategy here, but we've seen that leader is able to really control this race, so he might be in pretty good shape here. So I'm going to restart here with just over 20 to go, so stick around, and we'll be here for the finish. Alright, well, I'll write it under yellow. Unfortunately, we have one driver that has DNF'd from the race, the 09 of Corey Cook. However, we're going to pull Corey in here and have a word. So yeah, I say definitely not the night you were looking for, Corey. I say, but maybe give us some of your insight on kind of what unfolded for you, at least in this race, to knock you out. Unfortunately.
Well, first wreck was because of me, and I think I washed up in someone, or else I clipped the apron. It was something like that. I've been back and forth through the field. I think it's just a bunch of wrong place, wrong time. But there was some really good racing tonight. That one wreck did me in, and ironically, I think if I just kept them going straight, I would have made it through it. But when you see a flying car, you tend to want to steer away from it.
Yeah, it's kind of a natural tendency to try to avoid the flying cars, but yeah, I say it's definitely been a wild one. I was saying just with also it's obviously been tough for you to pass too. So I mean, was that kind of what your game plan was, to try to keep as much track position as possible?
Yeah, that was definitely early on in the race. I think everyone was thinking tires was the thing, but as we got further on and we noticed how hard it was to pass, especially at the front, we noticed it's probably better to have track position.
Well, so hopefully luck will turn around for you next week. Definitely appreciate you joining us. I say we got the one to go, however, so I'll have to say again, look forward to doing a top 3 interview with you soon, though. So hopefully get some better luck for you here in the next week or so.
I got one
Thank.
question, though, Corey.
Hey, go for it,
How
Steve.
many laps do you think these guys can go on fuel?
Let's see. When you take off out of the pits, your little thing says about 80. I want to say probably at full speed, 40-ish laps. I think that's probably what they'll get.
Okay. It's going to be really close for John Brill here. He's taking him to he's leading right now.
Yeah, so he just took him to the green. So I'll keep an eye on the fuel window there. But as we say that, Eric Schaus is going to jump to the bottom right off the bat here.
Sorry about your bad luck, Corey.
Oh, as I said that, the caution comes out right away here. Looks like right in the back of the field, unfortunately. So it looks like, trying to see who's all involved in this one. 021, 34. Oh yeah, 34's got some damage. 36 of Art Peck as well. So this is actually, I say, John Brill's able to keep the lead. That's probably why he went to the top right away there. So actually, yeah, so that's a huge break for John. He's going to be saving even more fuel. So let's go ahead and see what brought us under this most recent yellow here. So I have a feeling it's probably a bit of an accordion effect. Usually when those incidents like that happen on these restarts, that's kind of a telltale. So see if I can hunt it down here. Oh yeah, sure enough. Looks like, let me get to that 021 here. You see him getting going here. We're at speed. You see how quick that contact happens, and just from there, just nowhere for some of those guys to go. So I said we'll go back one more time. Let's see if we can get a different angle. Run it a little slower. And saying, see if we can get a better view. We'll actually hop on board with that 35 of Art Peck. And yeah, I'm not sure there. So you can see the RPMs here on the 36 car. He's already up and going. However, that 021 is still holding his pace speed there. So I say we'll try to. Not sure. We're right on board. Looks like he checked up a little bit, unfortunately, and that's what, yeah, Art got into the back of him there. So yeah, I think just a bit of an accordion effect, like we had mentioned there, to bring out this most recent yellow. And you know what? Did I just see what I think I saw? I think I see. Gotta hunt him down here. John Brill just made a pit stop there, unfortunately, it looks like. So John's gonna... yeah, so that's John Brill in the pits there. So, man, if I was him, I would have stuck with that strategy. That hurts to see me in the pits there. I would have loved to see him try to use some strategy there to get there to the end.
Yeah, I think I would have stayed out if I was him.
Well, say Eric Schaus is going to be breathing a sigh of relief. That's one less he has to worry about, and he gets that preferred clean air, and of course he'll be able to protect that bottom line. So, I'll say so. Unfortunate for John there. Say must have not been able to make it there in fuel. I'm not sure again, but I feel like those caution laps he may have been in pretty good shape. So again, though, back under yellow here, so we'll step away for a moment and we'll get things going again on the one to go. All right, lights are off on the pace car. We're going to restart here with 17 to go. Let's say, unfortunately, I was rooting for John Briller to get some strategy there to try to see if he could pull off a win. That'd been an awesome story too, to start 33rd and be able to pull it off. So he's going to be restarting now in the 16th position. It looks like. Again, still plot can happen between now and then. I believe though everybody's going to be definitely good to go to the end on fuel from here. So I think now it's just going to be kind of all out, get what you can, and see what you can do. Find a way to see if you can get around that 72 car if you're Bud Steele here.
I would say at this point it's Eric Schaus's race to lose because from what I've seen, it's impossible to get by him, and these guys are all on the same tires.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I think Eric's definitely, as long as he can keep it clean, not make any mistakes, he should be able to pull this one off. However, though, again, 17 to go. A lot can happen between now and then. He's just got to make sure he keeps his nose clean and then doesn't make any mistakes. So again, definitely do not want to have any commentators curse on Eric here. So hopefully he's able to do what he needs to do. However, these guys are not going to make it easy for him. So you see Bud Steele right away going to that top side. He's going to try to see what he can do. And so the other guy who was able to lead some laps earlier on was Charles Johnson, that 28 car. He's now on the same strategy as them, and he is right on that back bumper of that 72 car. And when I say back bumper, I mean rear wing, because these cars don't really have bumpers. So, you know what I mean, though.
Everybody knew what you meant. Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, I see the 17 losing some. Oh, big hit for Chad Wilkes here. Let's see, now the hope for him is he can. Oh, he's not going to do it. I was hoping he was going to land on his wheels, but he will not. And again, looks like the bad luck as well for David Leclerc is going to continue as well. He is on his lid. Let's see the 222. Looks like he's okay, though. It looks like Jack Wall's in there as well. So I see another driver further up on track here. Let's see the 117. Actually, looks like he just took a tow. So we've got a lot of drivers involved. This is 117 to Jay Shallington. Oh man, let's see what happened here. That was unfortunate there.
And it looks to me like the 131 of Craig Forsyth just kind of washed up the track a little bit.
All right, let's take a look here. So it's not a great angle. Let's go from here. We'll go from that chopper cam. Yeah, it looks like Craig didn't really enter the turn there. He kind of stayed up high there, unfortunately. Chad started turning in for the corner, and just from there, just nothing that the 17 can do. Let's see, saw the 50 as well, and that involved in this one here. So heavy hits for those guys, and of course, just some of these guys trying to sneak through the wreck, and they get caught up in it as well. You see the 83, I think we saw him get some contact as well. So you can see there's still more smoke up ahead. They're trying to check up. It's like he's gonna get hit from behind here and from the side. So wow, Maxwell Caldwell's in this one as well. I didn't even notice that he was in it. Robbie Richards is in there. Todd Merkel. Oh, you see, the 90 John Brill. He gets caught up in it as well. Oh man, that's a lot of cars involved in this incident here. So. So I'll say we have a lot of cars hopefully getting some fast repairs taken care of if they have any left. So that's going to put us back under yellow here again. So we're going to restart with just around 10 to go. So again, one more time, we'll step away right now. Our top 5 is showing as Eric Schaus, Bud Steele, Charles Johnson, Charles Teed, and Jim Brooks. All right, so my math was right. We're going to restart actually with exactly 10 laps to go here. We're on lap 90 of 100. Going to restart here with at lap 91. So again, right now our top drivers right now showing as Eric Schaus, Bud Steele, Charles Johnson, Charles Teed, Jim Brooks, Ted Decker Jr., and Todd Merkel are the top 6. And then those that made a pit stop under that last yellow, probably involved in the wreck too, unfortunately, is Gaston Ariano, James Ledford, Robbie Richards, John Brill, Jack Walls, Mitchell Wilkes, Craig Forsyth, and Roy Wheeler. Those drivers are all on the top 10. That's the top 15. 16th on back are all 1 lap down. So again, we're going to restart here with 10 to go. And I say again, and I think like Steve and I talked about, 72, he's just got to make sure he gets through the gears here, hold that white line, and he'll probably in pretty good shape, although knowing Bud, he's probably got something up his sleeve, so never count that man out.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we can make it to the end now without another caution. Somebody got quite a restart there on the outside, a white car. Can't see who that is.
I think that may have been the 11, I'm guessing, of Gaston Ariano. So
yeah, I think
it's like he's hanging out right behind that 76 of Jim Brooks. But here comes Bud Steele again. We talked about that top line. He's going to try it again here, saying what his goal is going to be is to try to pinch that 72 down so he doesn't get the momentum on the exits. But as I say that, here comes that 11 car with a big head of steam. So right now we got 6 cars all packed together here. Ted Decker Jr. not too far behind as well. But right now, again, so this is going to be the battle for the lead here with these top 6 drivers. But right now, let's say again, that 72 Eric Schaus is probably in the catbird seat. But again, we still got 9 to go, 8 at the line. See Charles Johnson right on that back wing of that 72 car. You see him swerving around a little bit, trying to make sure they don't catch that white line. Because again, that's going to pretty much ruin your race if you catch that. That's not an easy one to save. These cars do not like the apron. But man, here comes the whole field to say we got a little gaggle of cars coming through the backstretch right now.
it kind of looked like Gaston Ariano was at one point testing to see if he could go 3 wide and hold it on the outside, and it didn't look like that was working out very well, so he had to back off and pull back into the outside line.
Yeah, I think these tires are still just too fresh for these drivers. They can probably keep it pretty pinned to the bottom without losing too much momentum. So, I mean, I think someone's going to eventually try to make that topside work. Right now it looks like Charles Teed is in that position there. He's trying to just poking outside of that 6 of Bud Steele. But I think really to have a shot here, you're going to have to be in that bottom or middle lines here. So we have 6 to go, coming up to the 5 to go here at the line. But right now, again, Eric Schaus just holding off Bud Steele at the moment to say, again, Bud's going to try to keep Eric as honest as possible. I think, again, try to keep him as pinched down to the bottom as possible, too. I think that's going to be Bud's best chance. If he can kill that momentum a little bit of that 72 car, he might be able to get that that momentum on the top side with that 6 car. Like you said, Steve, kind of just, you almost have to do some plate race strategy with these cars here at Kansas. We've also seen some plate style crashes here tonight, too.
Yeah, definitely.
They're coming to 4 to go again, still holding pretty steady at the front. You see, you see one get to the apron there. That was actually Charles Johnson and Jim Brooks. Oh, they make heavy contact there in the air. That's going to bring a yellow out here. That's going to give us a green-white checker finish as well, but heavy contact for that 76 car. I think, you also see the 81 Todd Merkel was involved here. So Charles Johnson able to get rolling again, so that's going to be big for him to try to stay in contention here. So you get one of those faster pairs done. But wow, that was a big one there. So we talked about the apron being a dangerous one to do, and they touched it, and yeah, so that's going to bring us under yellow. So let's see how this all completely unfolded. So we obviously saw how it initially started at a distance, but you could see from there, though, there was a little bit more that happened, unfortunately.
It looks like it was a synchronized apron touching by both Charles Johnson and Jim Brooks.
Yeah, apron bad. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. So you see Charles just touches the apron. Jim follows right on his tire tracks there. He touches it as well. See, Charles had it almost saved, but then he catches the inside. Saying, actually, let's go back. We'll watch a little bit more from Jim's point of view here, because from what I was looking at, it looks like he had it saved, but then when Charles got the transition again, that's what really did him in.
Yeah, Fortunately, Jim Brooks, from his having touched the apron, was already down on the apron, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can see that second time around, and say that's where Charles got sent. That's where it sent him around. And you see, yeah, just the 76 just launches off the front end of that 28 car up across the track here. 28 going up across the track as well, and just nothing for these drivers to do. You see John Brill almost sneaks through, actually gets landed on by the 76 car. And so you'll see some of these cars a little further back getting caught up in it as well. Actually, who is that? Is that the 99? I think it is. I want to watch this from Mark Robillis' point of view because I believe he just drove under some cars here. We'll go full speed so you can see. I'm saying how fast this stuff happens. We're at full speed here. You see them in the grass, and then here they come right back up across the track. I don't know how Mark got through that. That's wild. However, yeah, so a lot of cars involved. Unfortunately, we mentioned Todd Merkel in that 81. He got caught up in that as well. Trying to see who else got in this one. I was like, you see them trying to avoid it. It's just one of the things you don't know where that car is going to go to avoid it. Oh, he made contact with the 28 there at the very end. So that's where he got caught up in it. You see the 76 still crashing there too. Let's see if I can get any more. Who's that one there? So you see a Budweiser car here. However, yeah, so a lot of damage to some of these guys. Big hit for Todd Merkel as well. So again, it's going to put us back under yellow. Again, this is going to be attempt number 1 of a green-white checkered. Let's say lights are still off on the pace car. So yeah, so right now Eric Shaw still showing as our race leader. Bud Steele 2nd, Charles T 3rd, Gaston Arellano is 4th, Jack Walls in 5th, Robbie Richards 6th. Somehow John Brill still showing in 7th position. I say, we'll take a look at that 90 car. Looks like he's still showing okay, so he may have just gotten away with that one. So trying to take a look. Yeah, his car looks good here. Then you got James Ledford in 8th in the 48 machine. Craig Forsyth is in 9th. And then you have Joseph DeCiro in the 021s. Works his way back up into the top 10. And then you have Roy Wheeler, Charles Johnson are the last two on the lead lap. 222 of Jared Kozinski showing as the only car 1 lap down at the moment. So I'm going to step away for just a brief moment here. We'll get things going again on the 1 to go, which will be attempt number 1 of up to 3 of the green-white checkered finish on green-white checkered TV. Alright, lights are back off on the pace car again. This will be attempt number 1 of the green-white checker. Again, we have up to 3 attempts should we need them. Again, we talked about our top 10 right now. Eric Schaus, Bud Steele, Charles Teed, Gaston Arellano, Jack Walls, Robbie Richards, John Brill, James Ledford, Craig Forsyth, and Roy Wheeler. So I say those are going to be our 10 here. 11th and 12th is Charles Johnson and Joseph DeCiro. Those are all the cars on the lead lap. So, however, the way this works here is if they can get to that white flag without a caution, they will race back to the checkered flag. However, should a caution come out or an incident occur before they get to the white flag, they'll rack them up and do it again. So Rachel, deep breaths. This could be the only attempt that you have to worry about. I definitely feel where she is though, as a fan though. When you had that good of a race, you definitely don't want to see it come undone at the very end. So we'll see what that 72 is able to do here, Steve. But yeah, so I'll say we've seen he's been able to run that bottom and not really been able to be challenged. But again, you never know with these Indy cars. These drafts sometimes will do some crazy things.
Yeah, it'd be interesting also to see what kind of strategy these guys take here. But I think at this point it's going to be Eric Schaus, and the question will be between second and third and fourth.
Yeah, so like you said, because at some point someone's gonna be able to run the bottom there. You see the 11 car trying to get to the inside of it. Oh, contact right off the bat there. So again, we talked about that. Yeah, Charles T, Gaston, Ariana, they make contact. Oh, heavy hit behind there as well. Couldn't quite see who caught him there. I think that may have been the 28 of Charles Johnson. Yeah, I'm gonna say based on that damage, that was definitely Charles as well. So those two. So again, this will bring us to attempt number 2, unfortunately, due to that initial contact between that 27 and the 11.
Looks to me like Charles T probably came down on Ariano.
Yeah, pulling it up right now. We saw that 11 get a great restart, and as soon as he could, he got right to the bottom, try to take advantage of that momentum. So we'll see as they come into the trial here, as they start entering turn number 1. And, oh yeah, they make contact there. It's hard to see. Let's see if we can find a better angle.
I'm looking at the chopper view right now.
All right, let's look from here. I'm looking. Let's see, we'll watch on the entry here. Oh man, that's honestly between the two of them there. I mean, there's not a lot of room there. I mean, you can see obviously the 27 wants to try to keep the room, and see the 11 has a little bit of space, but he gets. If I would go anything, like I said, yeah, it looks like 27 may have came down a little bit, but I mean, this greenwood checker attempt number 1, everybody's going to be going for all they're worth there. So it's unfortunate. As I know Charles Teed isn't going to be happy about that. He had a good run going to have it end like it has so far. I mean, he's still on lead lap, so he can definitely recover and try to get some spots back. And we still do have 2 more attempts of a green-white checkered finish, so that could still come out into fruition for him. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. However, I'm noticing though is leaders are really far away from the pace car. Now the pace car is showing in turn 3. Leaders are coming out of turn 2, so I'm a little confused what's going on here. But okay, there goes a 222 Jared Konzinski. I wonder if they're waiting for him, or there's some fuel saving strategy going on between the 72 and the 6 car. I wonder if maybe they tight on fuel or something. So well, we'll keep an eye on this. We'll definitely let you know once we get going here. So we'll step away for just a moment, and we'll rejoin here on the 1 to go. All right, lights are back off of the pace car. So again, we're showing that we're going to be racing to lap 110. So we talked about those green white checkers. So I mean, this is 10 more laps than the original scheduled distance. Granted, a lot of them under yellow. We still feel like the 72 and the 6 should be pretty safe on fuel, but when you see the car running on the apron like he is right there, that makes me nervous. So say again, Rachel, keep breathing. Hopefully, it's just making sure he has enough for another one if he needs it. Say again, this will be attempt number 2. So if they get to the white flag, they will then race to the checkered. However, if another caution comes out before they get to that white flag, then at that point they will line them up and they'll do it one last time. So 12 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Jared Kaczynski got his lap back, so he's going to restart now back on the lead lap here in 12th. Unfortunately, Charles Teed involved in that incident. He is showing 1 lap down in 13th. So yeah, so say it's, again, I feel like right now Eric Schaus is in a really good position in that 72 car, able to protect that bottom line. It's really tough to pass, but you can see the way these cars are lined up, they've definitely got some plans in store for that 72. So we'll see what Bud Steele, Gaston Ariano, Jack Walls, see what they can do here as we wait for that green flag to fly. And we are back underway, and sure enough, I don't know what happened to that 72 car. It looks like he may be low on fuel. And sure enough, there goes Bud Steele to the front here. So we'll have to kind of wait, and I'll have to see if I can find out what happened there. So
The battery missed a shift.
yeah, I may have been in the wrong gear or something like that. I'll try to see if he gets back up to speed or not. However, that's going to give the door open now to Bud Steele to the inside, to the lead. However, he's got now Jack Walls with a huge head of steam on the outside, trying to see if he can get that momentum to work. So again, they're going to be racing to the white flag at the line there. Jack Walls had the lead. So now we'll see as they go through turns 1 and 2. Again, we talked about that inside line being the preferred line. So Bud Steele is going to get a little bit of an advantage here. You see Robbie Richards right behind him. But right now, Jack Wall's still getting some pretty good momentum on this top side. So I think this could be a really close finish at the line. So we'll kind of wait and see as they come through 3 and 4 for the final time. Bud Steele looking like he's going to be in good shape. Looks like, yep, Bud Steele's going to hang on and get the win. Jack Wall's second. I believe Robbie Richards is going to grab third. And as soon as they cross the line, unfortunately, they make some contact and they go around. So I'm trying to find Eric Schaus here in that 72 car. Looks like he's still going up to speed. But, oh, man, that's exactly the opposite of what I was hoping for on that one. That's where it's really stressful. So, unfortunate, just bad break there for Eric Schaus there in that 72 car. Had a great run this evening. Just something happened on that last restart to put him out of contention there. However, though, Bud Steele takes advantage there, and he's going to kind of steal this win, if you will, here tonight at Kansas. Again, Jack Walls is going to bring it home in second, and Robbie Richards is going to bring it home in the third position. Alright, so with that, we'll step away for just a moment, try to pull up our drivers here for some interviews while we watch that 6 car do some celebration here. And then we'll pull these drivers up and we'll have a chat with them in just a moment. Alright, well, we're going to start our interview process here. So we're going to grab our third place finisher here, Robbie Richards. So you started in the 24th position, worked your way all the way up to third there. Say obviously some pretty important restarts there at the end. Saying you're able to kind of work your way forward there and bring it home in third. I mean, take us through your race.
Yeah, I ain't quite sure what happened with Eric there, but it definitely opened up a hole for me to get to the bottom, to get on the inside of Gaston. And then I was hoping I could get Jack there, at least get second. I wasn't gonna get Bud. He had the bottom line protected. So Very happy with the outcome there because God knows I ain't good with these cars.
Well, so you did what you had to do tonight. So you brought it home in third. Yeah, definitely want to give you an opportunity though. Awesome result, obviously. So anybody you want to thank, sponsors, fans, anything like that, to for your result this evening?
Yeah, just want to thank all the admins putting these races on. I know they're working hard to get these cautions under control here, and hopefully here before too long, everything will be back the way it was to where we can practically run a full race without having cautions. They got some things they're gonna work out, and I just want to give them thanks for all the hard work they put into it.
Yeah, so it's always never an easy job for sure for them. I'd say when you're running full fields too, and some new names, new faces. That's always, again, we talk about those growing pains. So, but yeah, I say, like you said, they're doing everything they can to try to get that going again. So, but definitely though, yeah, enjoy this one, Robbie. I say it was definitely one of the big movers this evening. So congrats on that, and saying enjoy that top three.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, starting or winning the heat race, having a racer weigh in and coming up here and finishing third, I'll definitely take it. And thanks to y'all for broadcasting. Y'all again, I mean, y'all always doing an awesome job.
Say, look, always a pleasure to be a part of it. So, saying, look forward to having future chats with you in the other races. So, until those future races, though, enjoy it and look forward to watching you race some more soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, that was our third place finisher there, Robbie Richards. So now we're going to go ahead and pull up our second place finisher here, that number 83. So we're having a habit of pulling up this number 83 car. You say he likes yellow cars, and he's been bringing these yellow cars to the front, getting some good results here, Jack. So again, able to bring it home in second place tonight. So I mean, first of all, congrats on that run, and I mean, take us through what you had to go through there throughout this race.
I was in the back of the field most of the night. I mean, after the start, I started second, but I just started pitting early and stayed in the back of the field. Was trying to avoid all the wrecks that were going on, and I guess it was around lap 75. I figured I'd pit and run it to the end, and then there was another caution. I believe I pitted again, and I thought I'd have the fresher tires there at the end to give Bud a run for his money there, but I just couldn't get by. I think I had a little bit too much fuel left on those last couple green white checkers.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Is there probably a balance between like better tires and maybe too much fuel at the end? Like, so maybe if you have less fuel, but older tires, it's kind of, is it a bit of a wash? Do you feel like, or tires maybe still more important than the fuel weight in the car overall?
Yeah, tires for me more important because when you got behind another car, the car wanted to push. So the better the tires, the less you had trouble with that.
Well, I'll say you did an awesome job. I say getting a bit of a habit here of chatting with you, which I say is awesome. Obviously, to be able to have these results tonight. So I say I see a bright yellow Pennzoil, a little bit dirty, of course, with that race you had tonight. But yeah, definitely any opportunity for sponsors, anybody watching that you want to thank for that second place run you had this evening.
No, just thank Pennzoil for giving me this bright yellow car. You know, when you see the yellow car coming, you better look out.
I say indeed they should, because I say you've been up here a lot lately. So keep doing what you're doing, Jack. You're doing awesome, and enjoy this one, and look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Okay, Gail. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Jack Walsh. So I'd say now we got to pull up our race winner, though, of course, that number 6 of Bud Steele here. So we'll grab Bud in here. So I don't know, Bud. I say we're all kind of shaking our heads what happened on that restart, but I think for you're just enjoying the benefit of it there on your side.
Well, I been talking to Eric, and he, for some reason, burned off too much fuel because he thought he had more than enough to get to the end. He was trying to get light, and several of us were trying to burn some fuel off, but he burned a little bit too much off, and so he went to map 8 on the caution and forgot to change it back uh, before it went green, and it just bogged him down didn't give him that power. And I was talking to him. I feel bad for him because it would have been a nice finish. I was just going to try to, hang around on that outside till the end, coming off of 4, and just try to side draft and get close as I could at the line at the finish. But it just didn't work out that way for Eric. Great run for him, though.
Yeah, so he definitely had a really good run all evening. I say it was obviously tough to pass. I say you were one of the few that were really able to at least stay close to him running that top side. It seemed like you did a really good job of kind of keeping that momentum up and maybe even trying to keep him pinched down a little bit as well on the inside to make sure he kind of had to scrub some of that speed off on there. So I was thinking the same thing. I was like, all right, we're gonna see Bud jump to that outside and see if he can make that momentum work. But obviously wound up for not, unfortunately for Eric. But yeah, so say you're able to put yourself in the right place at the right time, and say so. Sounds like it's been a good couple of days for you, and able to kind of cap it off here tonight with the win tonight at Kansas. So yeah, say any thanks, shouts you'd like to give for your win this evening.
Thanks to you always, Gael, and I think you got Steve with you there tonight. Appreciate y'all broadcasting this, all the guys at Area 51. Anyone watching, hope you enjoyed the race. And I pulled my Margaritaville special out to run tonight, and so I'll have to run it until get bad luck with it again.
Yeah, so I got to stick with what works, and right now that Margaritaville car is looking nice doing the donuts here at Kansas, so definitely enjoyed the win tonight, Bud. So you definitely were in contention all night, able to just kind of take advantage of that situation there at the end, but yeah, congrats again on the win, and say look forward to having some future chats with you here in the remaining races.
Hope so, Gail. You take care. Good talking to you.
All right, that's our race winner here, Bud Steele. So Steve Wesley, we don't have to go hunt down see what happened, unfortunately, to Eric there. It sounds like he just had the wrong fuel map. And something to mention with these cars, we talked about before in some of the previous races that now you can change the weight jacker. Something else you can do is you can change the fuel maps to under caution to save a lot of fuel. However, if you don't take it off of it, you lose all your power. And so that's unfortunately what wound up biting Eric Schaus there for him. So they wound up finishing 11th. But yeah, again though, Eric, I mean, I hate it for you. You had an awesome run this evening. Just one of those things that we've all done. Let's say we just have to kind of chalk it up to a learning experience, and then just go after it again in the following week. So, however, though, before we go over the results, though, Steve, any final thoughts on your end for this evening?
Well, it's kind of funny how we thought at the end that maybe these guys were close to running out of fuel, and it turns out once again, because I think this happened last week. Instead of almost running out, they were actually burning fuel off. And I guess my understanding is that's how he changed the engine map so that it would burn more fuel. And then forgot to put it back to the regular setting, which would, I guess, give him better acceleration. This is my first time hearing about that stuff.
Yeah, so with these cars, you can definitely, I mean, obviously we're used to doing more of the NASCAR stuff, but yeah, you can definitely adjust a lot more in these cars, especially when you're, even with the fix setup, like I said, you can adjust the fuel maps. So usually, of course, you're just going to be running full rich, but you can lean it out. I think it's like, I think Bud said, you can run 1 through 8, 1 being full rich, 8 being under caution, but then you can run 7, which would be still some good speed, but you'd have to basically still be saving more fuel than the 1, if that makes any sense. So just unfortunately though, Eric was on that 8 setting, which is under yellow, where he was trying to save that little bit extra and just didn't switch it back before he went back to green. So it's I hate it for him. I say he did an awesome job tonight. So he was in the right place, right time, made the most of that pole position. But yeah, and that's the thing is with these races, any little mistake, everybody's going to try to capitalize on it. That's how these deals go.
And I got to commend everybody for missing Eric at the end, and we got to finish under green instead of having a big melee.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That could have easily been a big stack up there at the end. So good heads up driving by those guys up front. So with that though, we're gonna pull up our results here this evening. So Bud Steele able to snag that win tonight. Jack Walls brings it home in second. Robbie Richards third. Gaston Ariano in fourth. Charles Johnson fifth. Craig Forsyth able to recover and get back up into sixth. James led for seventh. John Brill, again, started 33rd, finishes eighth. Awesome job for John there. Roy Wheeler ninth. Joseph DeCirio finishes 10th. And it'll pull up 11th through 20th here. You got Eric Schaus. Again, just unfortunate, just that slight mistake wind up burning him there. But knowing Eric, he'll be back in contention in these coming weeks and future races. As he's been pretty much up front in most of these races I've been involved in watching him race and commentating on. So not too worried about Eric there. And then Jared Kaczynski rounds out the top 12 as the last car on the lead lap. And unfortunately, Charles Teed finishes 13th in that last incident there towards the end with the 11 of Gaston Ariano. You see the remainder of the top 20 here. So some of these drivers did not have the results they were hoping for, obviously. And then same thing for this next batch of drivers from 21st on back. So you see Todd Merkel, Jim Brooks. So you saw some of them get involved in that really big wreck there on the tri-oval and caught that apron, unfortunately. So we had able to chat with Corey Cook as well in that 09. Not the night he was looking for. Julian Altina as well didn't have some luck tonight. And then we have the final drivers here. You got Dwight Plush, Benjamin Combs, Don Hunter, not what they were hoping for. And unfortunately, Thomas McConnell was the driver that did not make it into the race this evening. So again, they take 33 drivers. Unfortunately, he was the odd man out. Hopefully, he'll be able to go after it again next week. However, so for myself, Steve Goschak with Green White Checker TV, really want to thank you for joining us this evening for the Area 51 Racing League Indy Series. Tomorrow night we'll be, I'll be doing the 87 Cup cars, and then Thursday will be the Cup Series with Don Runkle Jr. will be joining me on that one, and then of course Sunday we'll have the Super Speedway Cup Series. So until tomorrow evening, hope you all have a wonderful night. Remember, if you can, please